Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt Dimas here, and welcome to part 4 of my Let's Play of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. Now, seeing that this scenario actually stems off of this one, we might actually do this one first. So let's get into it. And we've got Sia. So yeah. So I actually did some research. I researched this game last night. Well, actually this morning, and apparently this Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition actually contains the DLC from the Wii U version and the 3DS version. And yeah, I've never played the 3DS version, and that's probably why all the stuff that I've seen on this version is new to me, because I never played the 3DS version. So, but they did add some new stuff to this game that wasn't on either versions, which is interesting. So, you know, they tried to cram as much content into this Switch version of Hyrule Warriors as they could, which is awesome. Anyway, let's get into this using the Power A third-party Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Yep, it's the Breath of the Wild one that I was talking about in the last part. So yeah, definitely like this controller. I just don't like the lack of rumble, but you know, I'll get over it. Yeah, it kind of sucks that Nintendo decided to patch support out of the make all the other third-party controllers, like a lot of them, not compatible with the Switch anymore. I mean, you had to get firmware updates on a lot of them, and unfortunately for the JYS one I have, I couldn't get the firmware update working on it. I couldn't install the firmware update, so I wasn't able to use that controller anymore, which kind of blows, but you know, I like this controller. So, and because it's officially licensed by Nintendo, I get a little warm, fuzzy feeling that I'm actually supporting Nintendo, so it's okay. Fucking Sia is a really great character. I think that's how it works. If you buy something that's licensed by a company, don't they get a share of the profits or whatever? Yeah, I think so. Anyway. Yeah. I'll probably end up getting the Pro Controller eventually, like the actual one, but for now, I'm quite happy with this $35 controller. It gets the job done. Actually, it feels pretty good. Got no quorums with it at all. So, where are we heading? We're going up there, so we'll just carve a path of destruction northwards. Alright. And there is a buttload of like stuff to do in this game, in this version of the game. It's like, you know, there's a lot of characters to unlock. A lot more than I initially thought there was. There's like all sorts of characters. You can even unlock Ravio and Luga. Yuga, I mean. There is a ton of shit to do. There's like a fairy system or something. I think that was in the 3DS version. You know, there's a lot of shit to do. And when I was researching this game, it's like apparently there is the bulk of the gameplay that you're going to be putting, the bulk of the hours that you're going to be putting into this game are in the adventure mode and the other and whatnot. So, you know, as to be expected. I mean, Legends mode only goes on for a certain amount of time. it's nice to know that Nintendo were thinking ahead when it came to content, and they were able to cram all that shit in. All the stuff that you can do in adventure mode. It's just mind-boggling, actually, when I went and did the research. It's like, wow. So I'll probably have a quick dabble into that during this Let's Play. I don't want to spend too much time onto it because, like I said, it's a Let's Play in the Legends mode, so I really don't think I really need to look at the adventure mode and all that, but yeah, no, I might just have a quick gander at it. Why not? I mean, what's it gonna do? It's not gonna kill me. Because I wanna cover this game the best I can because I really like this game. One of my favorite, there's older games and well, spin-off game I should say. It's definitely it's been so long since I've. Wait, what? Did I lose? Oh shit. Fuck. What did I do wrong? What happened? Oh. I probably should pay more attention to what I'm doing. That was weird. But yeah, I want to make sure I cover all aspects of this game. So, I'll do the best I can, but I won't go overboard. So, defeat the Dark Nuts, do I need to do that first? Sure, why not, I guess. That was weird. Alright, let's go. Kick some ass. Seer's attacks are really something. Yeah, I can just swap over to Wizard. This works, I guess. Eat my shit. Fuck yeah. That was easy. I think get a nice level up here on Wizard. That'd be sweet. No, not happening. Oh well. Whatever, I guess. Alright, so back to see it. Alright, so let's go north. Door shut. Guess we'll go this way. Where we were before. 3 deads is still creepy. Having fun, guys? I am. Zen is having a pretty bad day. To say the least. Go tour. Let's go grab that sumbitch. Now where is this sucker? Where are ya? Ah, it's probably under that boulder. It must be. There we go. Yep. Thank you. Alright, let's go back up here. Oops. Okay, so we've got a dead end here. Let's go back the other way. So on my Facebook and Twitter, sometimes people reach out to me, and I respond to them from time to time. Depending on what the question is, and there's a couple of people that they ask me questions, in DMs and whatnot. Like, I rarely respond to like public tweets or whatever, but it's kind of like I got some questions about my opinions on things, and I figured while I'm playing, I might as well share a couple of opinions, because I'd rather not be an NPC and be able to share my thoughts. So we have. Now let me just open up Twitter. Give me a second. Oh wait, no, I got comments on YouTube, my bad. What am I talking about? I'm so out of it. Okay, so I got a couple of questions on my YouTube channel. I figured I might as well just read them out. I mean, these are the type of fans I have. They're mainly just musos and shit, so... So... A couple of people are like, how come you don't play lead guitar that much in, like, on video? And I'm like, well, number one, I don't want to embarrass myself. That's what I replied with in one of the comments. Number two, I don't know. I'm a rhythm guitar guy. Okay, that's my expertise. I chug. It's like, I don't feel like not being able to play lead well makes you any less of a guitarist. I think if you're able to master a certain aspect of something, like you've got more to gain than if you were trying to do everything at once. Because if you put all your effort into trying to get something mastered, then you're going to be one of the dandiest rhythm guitarists that ever lived. So that's why I just focus more on rhythm playing whenever I'm working on albums or whatever. Like, when I shred lead on a couple of my records, there's a lot of takes going on there. That's not a one take thing. It's not. I won't lie, it really isn't a one-take thing. It's me struggling and cussing at the frickin' computer trying to get the shit nailed. It's not a walk in the park. I don't know why everyone thinks like a musician's life is frickin' breeze. It really isn't. I mean, all those long hours on the road, doing God knows what, eating the worst fucking food imaginable. When you're on the road, guys, you need to get used to eating sausage rolls and meat pies, because that's all you're gonna fucking find out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Gourmet meals, forget about it. 5-star hotels, no way. That's not happening. It's not happening. And people wonder why I haven't really done anything in the music with my music stuff. It's because of the fact that you really have to work your ass off now to really make any sort of friggin' income. It's really tedious. But granted, it was pretty difficult back in the day, but nowadays it's freaking impossible to make any sort of money that would make life comfortable for you. If you're just a, Joe Schmo, that has a small following like I do, you need to fucking tour. Album sales, forget about it. Everyone fucking pirates shit for off fucking, whatever. Like, nobody's gonna buy your record. Okay? And the people that do, I appreciate that, but it's like, for August, I could probably count the amount of sales I've had on Bandcamp with 3 digits. It's okay, but it's not gonna freaking buy me a mansion or, pay the bills for a couple of years. It's not gonna do it. Like, the music business has changed dramatically. A lot of people seem to be trying to find new ways to be able to, make profit, and they do it with the streaming services and whatnot, which is a great idea, because you can monetize that and have at it, and because of that, it's more feasible to have a independent record label or whatever, and just promote your shit online. If you have a following, you can make full use of it. If you're just a small act, get an independent record label that'll help promote you, and Bob's your uncle, you're good. And I feel like that's, as opposed to like back in the day when if you got signed to a major label you were set. Not much anymore, unless you're ridiculously freaking famous. I would not recommend a major label. They will fuck you in the asshole. Like, they will seriously rape you. It's not fun. It really isn't. Major labels in 2018 are like just cancer. Unless you have a following that is on a level that is just absolutely insane. Let's say if you were as famous as I don't know, Eminem or Metallica. You'd need something like that to be able to survive on a major label. Let's fucking face it. But, there have been some exceptions. Some people have used the promo that the major labels have given them and managed to build themselves up from nothing, which is admirable, but, I mean, you gotta be realistic with here. At the end of the day, major labels are there to make money, not you. They're trying to make money off you, I should say. The last thing on their mind is your paycheck. I mean, let's be real here. Anyway, Min has been defeated. What now? So yeah, just think about that, guys. If you're a young kid and you've got a guitar and you're just jamming along, just think about that. Make the right choices and don't fuck up. That's all I can say right now. Just do the right thing and just go independent. Go independent, build your following, do whatever you gotta do, and just see what happens. Let it ride. Put the chips on the table and let it ride. You never know what'll happen. Anyway, that's my really elaborate answer to a question about why I never played lead guitar. You gotta find something you're good at, man. It doesn't matter if you suck at something. If you're good at something else, do it. A guy like me, I got all sorts of freaking mental problems. I got medical issues. It's like, you know, you won't catch me doing 9 to 5 bullshit like lugging around furniture. I can't do that. My arms will fucking dislocate every 2 seconds and I'll have a seizure. You gotta find something you're good at. And me working with technology seems to be, you know, what I'm good at. I'm good at, I love computers, I love music, production, all that stuff, you know, recording, let's plays, you know, producing content. That's what I like to do, man. And regardless of whether the world's watching what I'm doing or 2 people are watching what I'm doing, I love doing it. That's why I do it. And, you know, you gotta think about it. You gotta separate what you want and what you love. So if you love what you do, it doesn't fucking matter if you're not getting paid. I mean, honestly. I mean, I make an income that's good enough to support myself. I don't need billions of dollars. Okay? I don't have the biggest freaking payroll right now. I get to put away about $250 every 2 weeks. That's about it. That's money saved into the bank, pretty much. And, you know, I just keep the money building until I find something I want to purchase and I go for it. That's basically how I handle my money. I just save up until I'm ready to, you know, buy some shit. And that's me being completely honest. That's what I do. I just save up and then buy shit. And it really pisses me off when, you know, because I don't get that much money. It's like, I'm trying to make the most of my freaking low income and be able to save up to buy some expensive shit. And that's what I've been doing in the past couple of years. And it really pisses me off when people are like, hey Matt, can you lend me $40? Hey Matt, can you give us $20? No! I want to save my money up so I can buy shit, so I can keep doing what I like doing, you know? It's like, I don't know, man. I really don't like people who beg for money. I fucking absolutely hate it. It makes me feel so uncomfortable and it makes me cringe. Like, it's like, the people that I used to hang out with, like, back home, they constantly did that, and it was absolutely painful that they just couldn't fucking just do their own thing and make their own money. They just go around asking people for favors and shit. And look, there's being a nice guy, and then there's being a gullible idiot. You know, it's, you need to pick one. Okay, you gotta know when to say no. You gotta be nice, but also be, you know, when someone's starting bullshit. Alright, you gotta know when to call them out on that crap, otherwise, what's the point? just to keep on getting taken advantage of? Why would you want to do that to yourself? You know, you just gotta, yeah. Like, you're like, I feel like such a dick for not lending him money. No, you're not a dick. It's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. You need money to survive, to buy food, alright? You know, you can be a good Samaritan some other time when you can afford to. If you're trying to save up money to pay the rent, don't be giving anyone shit. Or, you know, buy that fucking guitar amp, or if you're saving money up to get that guitar amp or computer, then don't fucking, you know, give money to anyone. Just keep saving your money. Your money. Yeah. But, yeah, of course I've helped close friends, you know. I've got a couple of close friends that I've helped out financially. And, you know, it's only because I've known them for several years. If it's someone you barely know, why the hell do you want to be helping them? It just seems like they're only becoming your friends just so that they can take advantage of you, which is pretty sad, honestly. But it happens, guys. It happens. There's people that just have no shame that exist. They will take advantage of you and completely make you feel like a pile of shit. Because that's what they do. That's how they manipulate people, and then they take advantage of them. And it's stupid, but that's how some people are. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's some humans out there that just get off on that, and it's like, well, fuck. You know, and that's the reality. It's a sad reality, but you know, we as people, we try to do what we can. There's only so much we can do. You know, it's like, you know, I've helped hundreds of people out, and you know, you just there has to be a point where you know when it's okay to be helping someone. If you know, if it's someone that you've known for a long time, then fine, have at it, help them. Someone you've known for about a year, 2 years, tell them to fuck off. That's pretty much my opinion on that. So I was looking through a couple of news articles and just lurking on poll for a little bit, you know the usual memes that are being posted on there, the NPC shit and all that. That's pretty funny. It's really, I like the whole concept, dehumanizing SJWs and shit. It's pretty funny, but I mean, it's actually pretty good. It's a good meme. I like the NPC shit. I didn't really understand what was going on at first. I was like, what the hell is this shit? But you know, I read up and it's like, yeah. But anyway, I was, you know, the current political climate is just so chaotic right now. Like, left wing and right wing are just at each other's throats. It's just constant shit. Like, it just never ends. And did he just throw a crucifix at me? That is fucking badass. But yeah, or totem, whatever that is, totem pole. Anyway, Xant's gone. Who's next? Oh, that was it? Alright. GG, buddy. So, it's like, you know, there has to be a point where we can sit down and finally have a couple of conversations and try to make everyone calm the fuck down. It just seems like every waking moment there's some new drama that arises. Like with the Sargon of the card shit, and Jim, and it's apparently. I remember my friend was talking to me the other day. He's like, Jim is basically trying to wipe out the skeptic community or whatever, and I'm like, well, shit. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, there's a lot of commentary channels or quote unquote skeptic channels I like watching that actually do a good job of what they do. So, you know, I believe we'll always have that sort of shit, but always types of people hanging around, you know, after all this brouhaha is over. But I mean, there's a lot of channels that just talk out their ass, you know. So I get it. You know, you need to get rid of the assholes, man. Oh wow, I got a million rupees. Yay. But yeah, you know, I always try to. Oh shit. Okay, so that's that. There's a new one. Are you fucking kidding me right now? How much DLC is there? All right. Anyway, let's just go back to the Twilight shit, basically, and we will do it. Apparently, the Twilight stuff. It just goes straight through like this, so we really just have to do this and that. And I think we might end it on that part, I guess. I think we might end the part there. So let's do the Twilight Field now. And we've got Lana. Let's just check her out, see what she can do. Oof, she needs some defense. Oh, Deku Spear. I forgot I had this thing. I actually might use it for the next battle. You never know. It might actually be handy. If it's got water elements, it might. Although her Book of Sorcery has a power level of 165, I mean, that is just nuts. How could I say no to that? I might as well just use that. Okay, so let's, alright, Lana, let's see what you're made of. Oh, okay, that's recommended. Okay, well, shit. Let's, use the one with the water skill thing, whatever that is.
Lana stepped through her portal.
Okay.
kingdom was consumed by shadow. Though she knew of the Twilight Realm, she had never seen it firsthand. Lana's sorcery could not reveal who or what was causing the twilight to cover Hyrule so completely. She soon came upon a small village beset by monsters. Her mission to close the Gate of Souls would have to wait.
Tree, motherfucker. That is such a bizarre special attack. Oh. Thank you, Sprat. Hey, buddy. Guess we'll be saving, what's her name? And Lana to the rescue. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna check the volume. I think maybe I can get away with making it just slightly louder. Alright, we'll put it up to 35. That's where it was. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell what the actual volume levels are because of the shit going on here. Oh yeah, let me just make the metering levels bigger, whatever these are called. Anyway, right, so, yep. Lana doing what she does best. Slingshotting nuts at people. I like the Deku stick. It's definitely, oh, spear, I should say. Tree, motherfucker. That is some tree right there. So I always get asked questions, you know, on Discord, and I just feel forward of another one someone asked me a couple of days ago, and they're like, because I do the whole videography stuff as well, like I shoot bands, and you know, whenever I can, and I shoot stuff on my YouTube as well as working with other people. A lot of people are like, why do security guards get so upset when you film at a concert? Well, I'll tell you the real reason why. It's because there's actually a limit on how many tracks you can actually record, depending on what venue you're in. When it came to Gabrielle Cohen, nobody really seemed to give a damn that I was filming for so long. So it's like, it's kind of a gamble, guys. Like, you cannot really be 100% sure what you're allowed to do. And that's kind of what's exciting about the whole thing. You know, it's like, oh shit, I can get away with this, you know, and, you know. I actually managed to get access to some pretty interesting contacts as of late that kind of, they said they were willing to give me access to a crane gimbal, and I could film like help them film a major band that was playing in Australia in a couple of months. And I asked them, I said, you know, I got little to no experience with cranes and whatnot, because I'm just a guy that just used like handheld gimbals. I've never used a crane before. I mean, Christ, I'm not a fucking millionaire, you know. And they're like, no, it's not really that hard to get used to. You just hook the camera on and then you're good to go. And they have the whole wireless setup there, and it's like, you know, you can switch between cameras with the computer and everything, and it's actually a really simple setup. I was actually surprised. I'm like, this is fucking really easy. You know, I didn't have any problems when they demonstrated how it worked, and I'm like, well, that's pretty because all the big production companies use this whole system now, and you know, I've got a little to no experience with it, and you know, because it's such a standard and it works so well, it's not, when you look at it, it just looks so simple. Because the way they demonstrate it, they do it with ease. So, you know, once I start learning how to use all that gear, I reckon I'll be able to have some fun getting serious with the whole video stuff, and we'll just have to see what happens with that. But yeah, if you're a guy that just films concerts for fun, I don't think you really have to worry much about you know, the whole having to worry about the security getting on your ass. Yeah, I guess it depends where you are. And if there's like, if you see pro photographers in the front row that are shooting pictures and whatnot, that's probably a sign that you should not be filming too long, because those guys are paid to be there. They're the band's personal photographers and whatnot. So, you know, they don't really want amateurs like you, you know, doing their job. So, you know, even if you have a fucking $20,000, $2,000 camera like an A7S II or something, and it doesn't matter to them. If you're not with them, then you're not allowed to be filming such high quality video, because it's the other guy's jobs. I know security get really upset when you have a really pro setup. You walk in with like an A7S II, you've got like a mic attached to it and all sorts of shit. They're like, hey man, you can't take that in here. I have noticed that a couple of times. Some security, you know, they kind of have to stand up and say, hey, you can't use that in here. So, you know, there's been some workarounds that I found, because the mirrorless cameras are so small, you know. If you don't have that whole complicated rig, you could get away with passing it off as a fucking point and shoot. And my friend Mark has managed to do that a couple of times. He actually filmed a couple of bands using his Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and he had a Zoom H4n tucked away in his jacket as well. So, and you know, he synced the sound up in post, and you know, Bob's your uncle. So that is one covert way I can think of that you could get pro quality out of really subtle gear presentation. Like, that's one stealthy way I thought I can think of getting good quality. But you know, you cannot walk into a concert and be like, hey, I got an A7S II, an A7 III, I'm ready to do a multicam shoot, and they're like, no, you're not. I mean, it really depends on where you go. I mean, you never know. You might rock up to an event with a friggin' expensive setup, and one of the band members might actually call you up and say, hey man, you want to work for us? You never know. You really shouldn't rule anything out. The music business is so unpredictable. Okay? You don't know what the hell is gonna happen. Like, you really have no idea. It really is definitely a gamble. You just have to see what happens. Anyway, tree. Oh, that was pretty cool. Alrighty. So, you know. You do what you can most of the time. You know, when it comes to, you know, if you're just a average dude trying to make it in the world, you really need to put yourself out there and just talk to people, and eventually you'll have contacts that you can, you know, reach out to if you want to pursue ambitious things. So anyway, you know, you just gotta do whatever you can. That's the bottom line. Anyway, story. Oh shit, here we go. Tree, motherfucker. Ring? You whip it out. Never mind, dead. Oh, that was that. Oops, daisy. Let's go crazy. Oh, they really don't like that water, do they? Oops, I didn't really get to a good location here. Oh. There's rock here. It's a good thunder here. Oh. Might as well take out everything we can. So, you know, in 29 years I've been alive, I've come across a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of stories, you know, I haven't really shared yet, and I figured I might as well jump into one. When I felt like my life was getting back to normal, like when I turned 26 in like 2015, I felt like, you know, it was a perfect time for me to finally, like, you know, just get out there and just, you know, put myself out there and, just, you know, finally be able to move on from all the cringy BS I was a part of, and, you know, just rebrand myself, you know, reimagine myself, and adjust my attitude and just become a totally new person. And that's what I did. I completely did a 180 from, who I was. I was no longer as cringy, I wasn't as gullible, and I really matured. I felt like I really did mature, compared to, when I was 21, 22. It's like night and day. And, so there was this whole thing going on in, 2015. It was this whole Gamergate thing. Actually started in 2014. And, I actually went on Google Hangouts and talked to a couple of people. There's this podcast that they had running at the time that was called the Toxic Gamer Podcast. So I was on episode 2, I think, with Proto Mario and all that. I cannot remember. You guys can look that up. Toxic Gamer Podcast. And it had some guy named Phoenix and some chick named Cloudy Mao, whatever, I forget her name, but some British. She was British anyway. I think I talked to her for a while, but we used to have conversations for hours, and then I don't know. After that podcast, we didn't really say much to each other. I guess she just has so many friends, and it's hard for her to keep up with talking to everyone. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of a really interesting time for YouTube, because there was so many channels dedicated to just completely ripping apart people, and there was a lot of money to be made. People were making a fortune off that shit at the time, and I believe 2015 was the time of the YouTube gold rush. It was just it peaked, and then it was having a slight decline, but it wasn't completely dead. It was nowhere near dead, honestly. 2018, I mean, forget about that. That's where it fucking died. But anyway, we got and it was it was a bizarre time. I met so many people in the Hangouts, and I honestly, a lot of the people that were having Gamergate conversations, they were fucking batshit insane. A lot of these guys were fucking nuts. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. They were crazy beyond belief. A lot of these guys were so obsessed with Gamergate, it got ridiculous. And, I said to myself, because my friend Nick, I always go to him whenever I have some sort of social problem or whatever. You don't know who this Nick is, he's Python. He's the guy that works on my music and stuff. I asked him, I said, should I really be talking to these guys on this podcast, or, interacting with these guys, Gamergate guys? And he's like, I don't know. And so I made the executive decision to just, just step away from the whole conversation that was going on. Because I would go onto the TeamSpeaks and all that and just sit there and listen to people, just go back and forth, and I felt so alienated. I didn't know what I could add to the conversation, because what was happening was something I've never seen before. It was just some absolute, it's all about ethics and journalism, and it sucks that we finally got to that point. It's years ago, it was all about just, journalism was just trying to keep people informed, and over time it just got so corrupt. And, it's hard to believe what to really believe, and it's hard to know what you should be really be trusting anymore. And that's kind of sad, I said to myself, all these companies, they bullshit and they lie and manipulate you, and it's hard to put faith in people anymore when it comes to getting information, because most of the time you're going to be getting the wrong information when depending on the source. So that was what the whole movement was about. It was about trying to bring back genuine opinions back into the journalism industry, and stop with the bullshit corruption. And that Gamergate didn't really change much. I mean, there's been murmurs of 2.0, Gamergate 2.0 starting up now, so well, fuck, we didn't really accomplish much, did we? We just exposed the people, yeah, sure, but it's well, okay, we've said all we needed to say and exposed everyone. What's there left to do? Well, nothing. because the majority of these people work in the industry. So it's like, fuck, what are you gonna do? You get them fired? Well, sure. A lot of people ended up getting fired, like fucking Jessica Price. I mean, she's a fucking piece of work, that bitch. And, you know, she ended up getting kicked out because of her insane fucking views and whatnot, but, you know, it doesn't stop these people from infiltrating the industry. I mean, it's just, these crazy fucking idiots are still making their way into the industry. I mean, just look at Crunchyroll. That shit fucking, let's open that can of worms, shall we? That was some BS right there. It's not gonna stop, guys. I mean, it's just, there's always going to be morons in the world. We're just going to have to deal with it. I mean, it's funny to call them out, but, you know, that's all you can do. I mean, it's not worth getting crazy over it. Like some of the people I was talking to back in 2015, they were absolutely obsessed. I'm like, really, dude? Just chill out. You know, it's really not a big deal at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, there's some idiots in the world. You know, corrupt idiots, and, you know. But, I do get it. I do understand. Believe me, I understand what they were trying to accomplish with Gamergate. But, at the end of the day, it kind of seems like it was just something to inform people on how corrupt everything was. And, at least, well, I say knowledge is power, so at least we have that. At least we have that. We've got the knowledge. We know to be careful when we're getting information, because a lot of the time it's going to be the wrong information when it comes to mainstream gaming websites, or, you know, mainstream media in general, really, when you think about it. But, you know, it's just weird, man. It was definitely, 2015 was interesting. It just feels like everyone was just fucking just tearing each other apart. It was a interesting time. I mean, it's still going on now, but back then it was kind of like a new thing, like this whole exposed culture. Like, it felt like a new thing, even though it probably wasn't. But it was just happening in such a widespread manner. It's like, wow, what's going on? And yeah, so we've done that scenario. What have we got next? Okay, so we've done that one. We've done that one. This actually branches out to this one here, whatever that is, Skyloft. Okay, so we'll do this one. Yeah, sure. And this will be the final one, I guess. I don't know. Might as well do it. I guess we'll do 4 for each part of the Let's Play, I suppose. So let's get it on. Let's see her again. Oh. But yeah, that was that was a interesting experience I had back then, talking to those random people on Hangouts and whatnot. Just gamers and whatnot I was talking to, and I don't know, after a while I just felt alienated. And then, you know, I ran into that nut job and was just absolutely obsessed, and I'm like, Christ. Anyway, that's all that, I guess. Let's scroll. We'll go to the dojo. Make her a little bit stronger, I guess. There we go. Yay. And here we go with Sia.
An unknown entity in a separate rift in time. This one on the floating island of Skyloft. When she arrived there, she found it already beset by a vast army of monsters. But who commanded them, Sia wondered. The inhabitants of Skyloft were clearly overwhelmed. Many thought that the end of the world was at hand. Phi, a servant of the goddess, fought alongside the humans, but the beast's advance could not be stopped. A great darkness would soon overtake Skyloft. Though Sia cared nothing for the fate of the villagers, she began formulating a plan. Whatever being had brought these creatures to Skyloft would make a powerful servant. She would need to subjugate it and make it her own. Launching herself into battle to defend Skyloft, Sia looked for an opportunity to weaken this dark power.
Yeah, that whole Gamergate thing was happening like before it was like early 2015, and that was like just before I started to get my YouTube channel up and running. Like, I was just starting to get views and whatnot, so it's like it was just after I left all that BS behind me. It was when I was starting to transition into my new get my new attitude and whatnot, and you know, it was interesting just seeing how many people were so fucking insane. It just made me feel so much better about myself. So, you know, there's some food for thought. But yeah, 2015 was interesting. It was a good transitional year for me. I felt like I was able to... I feel like I got to a point where I managed to, you know, leave a lot of the BS behind me. Although some people did try to bring up the shit I did that year, it really faded away fast. It turned out no one really gave a shit about my old music anymore, because some guy on Reddit posted one of my old songs in the crappy music section, like in early 2015. And I think it was called Thrash Rap. It was some rap song I made for fun, and you know, some people just. They just, I don't know, they just see something like that and they assume the worst. But really, I was just a kid, man. I was only 21 years old when I made that. Or 22, you know, I was just having fun. So, you know. It was such a long time ago, too. That's what pissed me off, you know, it's... And I went on my forum and made a thread about the guy, and that was that, I guess. I mean, it's better than doing something dumb, I guess, like, you know, contacting the guy. But, you know, some people like to call out stupid shit, I guess. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I mean, it's the internet. Who am I to say what someone can or can't do, even if it's, you know, at my expense? But, you know, that was kind of BS. I mean, you gotta admit. I mean, that song was like 4 years old at that time. And I got so much better at production in those 4 years, man. I started getting into it. So, you know, people bringing up old shit I did. You know, at the time I was releasing these awesome metal albums. It kind of really infuriated me, I guess. But that was really the last negative experience I had when it came to the internet. After that, oh, I guess there was the whole Wiggles BS that happened, but that's mainly because Ahad, you know, sometimes he can do dumb shit, and I guess he managed to piss off a fucking psychopath, so go figure. And, you know, that was a saga that went on for a while, but, you know, I haven't had anyone, like, attack, like, my creative, you know, my art or anything, you know, since then. It was kind of just trolling and stuff, you know, going on, like, oh, look at Quasimodo, and, well, yeah, I got lazy eye, alright. I've had brain damage because in 2016 I used to have a seizure every friggin' day almost, so I've got permanent damage to my fucking brain, and I have trouble with my eyes, okay? You know, I can't really help that, and that's pisses me off when people make fun of people's looks. It's just so trivial. Like, oh, he's gonna fucking cockeye. Like, you know, who cares? I mean, does it really matter? It just seems so cringy to go after that. That's what Wiggles did. He's like making fun of the way I looked. I'm like, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me right now? What makes that relevant? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just so irritating. You know, when people go for that sort of shit. It's just schoolyard BS. And this guy was like he was born in 1992, I assume, because he's name is Wiggles92. You know, I thought he would know better than that, but no. He's a fucking jackass. You know, go figure. But, you know, it's... I mean, I have a lot of medical problems. Like, when I was born, I was literally born blind. Okay. So, you know, not a good start. But, you know, the doctors did the best they could to try to get my vision back, so, you know, I cannot thank them enough for that. Like, seriously, I couldn't even imagine what my life would be like if I was blind from, you know, not being able to see anything. That would have been terrible. So, holy crap! It's the, whoa! That's that beast thing right next to me. Whew. But yeah, that sort of shit really aggravates me when people go for looks. I mean, like, come on. It really doesn't matter. In grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter what you look like. Some of the ugliest people on the planet, you know, have done amazing things and accomplished so much. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, you know, I just don't like it when people do that. It's just, I don't know how it can fly. I really don't know how it can fly. It's just so trivial. But apparently it's still a thing in 2017, 18, go figure. I guess it makes it a little bit more aggravating just because of the fact that people don't know about my medical problems, you know, and I can't really help a lot of the stuff that's wrong with me. Like, because of the brain damage, because of the poor eyesight, because of all the joint problems I have. It's like, you know, when people say, oh, look at his eye, you know, it's like, shut the fuck up, you know, you get so sick of it. Anyway. Just dumb people being dumb, I guess. Just as long as I don't end up on kiwi farms or some shit, then, you know, I'm good. I probably won't do anything stupid enough for me to end up having a thread made about me on kiwi farms, because, you know, I've seen what Chris Chan did, and I've seen all the crazy shit a lot of people have done, and, you know, they basically, guys like Chris Chan are basically like a fucking cautionary tale. Like, their whole story is like a cautionary tale on how, basically, that's not, it's how not to act on the internet, their whole story, basically. And, you know, when you know, it's valuable information. By God, it's valuable information. You can't be a disingenuous person. You have to be transparent. You have to be honest. Even if it's at your expense, you have to tell the truth. Okay? Otherwise, it will backfire in your face, and people will see you as the habitual liar you are. And that's the bottom line. That's my opinion on that, I guess. You just have to... You just gotta do everything you can to try to, you know, just do the right thing. Be a good person, help people when you can. And eventually you'll get recognized for it, and you'll be respected. I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, respect me. I mean, my friend Rinsler and all my peers, you know, they think of me as a really a dude that just had a bad start, and I'm just getting my my shit together. You know, it's like, you know, I started out rocky, but then eventually I finally got my shit together. You know, I got into the whole production stuff, got into the videography, and, you know, started working on the voice acting stuff and all that, and, you know, I started to get serious with, you know, my career. And even if I'm not really doing much with it, yeah, even if I'm not like on the front page of friggin', you know, Reddit or you know, news sites, you know, if I'm doing what I like doing and I'm, you know, able to get a reaction from it, then that's all that matters. At the end of the day, you know, I love it. I love it when people comment on my YouTube. I love it when I put out music and, you know, make music with my friends. You know, I love doing that. You know, that's all that matters to me. I just love being creative with people, you know, and just, you know, instead of having to lie and be like, oh, I'm a big shot, oh, I did this and that, oh, I'm so cool, I'm signed to a record label, you know, if, believe it or not, people don't like people that are like that. They'd rather you be a down-to-earth dude. And that's, you know, that's what I ended up becoming. I just started to just get humble, and, you know, I like to think of myself as someone that, you know, has I got skills here and there, you know. It's stuff I picked up over time. You know, watching YouTube videos, or you know, just you know, I learned most of the audio stuff from YouTube and, you know, websites like Gear Sluts and all that. That was, you know, that was adequate for me, honestly. Like, it really was. I felt like that was a really good, very nice, very useful, a very efficient way to learn how to do all this shit. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to go to a college, although I did go to school for the, you know, for creative shit, and we're going to school to, but I you know, I still did a lot of the research, you know, just going online, and you know, it meant that I could ace the tests and whatnot, which was nice. But, you know, I still feel like you know, you don't really need to go to school. I mean, when I interviewed Mike Pollock about the voice acting thing that I was studying in University of Queensland, he's like, I asked him, do you really need to go to college to you know, be in the business? He's like, it's more or less just getting jobs. You know, getting people to ring you up and ask you to come in. It's kind of a freelance thing, sort of. So, you know, you really need to just, you know, just roll the dice and see what happens. Eventually, you know, stuff will happen. It's the bottom line. Wow. Covered a lot this part. Hell is that thing? Oh, that's where the sword was, fire was. I'll tell you what, man, you know, all the times that I spent on my computer researching stuff, you know, I feel like I didn't waste my time. I feel like I managed to learn a lot of stuff, and, you know, when you live in a place like Australia where it feels like the world's not really watching you, or a place like Brisbane, I should say, you know, you come to realize that the world is not what you think it is. Brisbane is actually a pretty active place. When it comes to creative arts and whatnot. I learned that by actually walking outside. And although it's no Los Angeles or New York, it's definitely something. So, you know. Definitely want to do more of those gear reviews. Be nice to be able to get that shit done. Be beautiful. Oh, we got new DLC here. How long have we been going? You know what, screw it, I'll knock out one more scenario. Yeah, I'll do one more scenario. So we just did this one, didn't we? Oh no, we did Skyloft. Yeah. Yep, we just did that. So I don't know, I think we might wrap this up. Yeah, we'll wrap this part up. Next up we'll be doing next up we'll do these ones down here. Which will be this one, and that one. So, yeah. This part we did this one, that one, and that one. So I think, yeah, we did, didn't we? Anyway, we'll be doing Skyloft next, so I will see you guys for the next part.